just Minnie and me. When I was just a baby kitten, small enough to think my own tail was a burglar, my mother Mimi told me the story that every cat hears sooner or later, the story of the famous 9 Lives. She told it with the tone of a family historian and the dramatic pauses of an actress who knew her audience was hanging on every whisker twitch. According to Mimi, our family did not merely believe in 9 lives. We had produced living proof of them in the form of my legendary uncle, Barracuda Billy, a sea-going cat with nerves of steel, paws of luck, and the mysterious ability to survive while every ship around him seemed to develop an immediate interest in sinking. Uncle Billy, she said, had prowled the halls of the mighty German battleship Bismarck during World War II like he owned the vessel, inspecting boots, stealing naps in forbidden corners, and glaring at sailors. Then came the great naval battle with Britain. Explosions, chaos, smoke, shouting, steel groaning against the sea. And when the Bismarck finally went down, there was Billy, floating in the cold Atlantic, with the baffled expression of a cat who had specifically requested dry accommodations. British sailors, astonished to find a feline survivor in the middle of a disaster, pulled him aboard their ship and decided any cat tough enough to outlast a battleship deserved room and board. They dried him off, fed him, and admired his calm. But within weeks, their own ship was torpedoed and sank, sending sailors scrambling for lifeboats and sending Uncle Billy right back into the water, where once again he bobbed around like a furry cork. Rescued a second time by more British sailors, Billy was by then no ordinary cat. He was a symbol, a mascot, a mystery, and apparently impossible to drown. They named him Barracuda Billy, partly because he seemed fierce and exotic, and partly because nobody wanted to call him that cat again. The sailors adored him. They scratched his ears, smuggled him treats, and likely consulted him on matters of weather, morale, and fish quality. Yet a troubling pattern had begun to emerge. Billy would arrive, inspect the ship, choose the best sleeping quarters, settle in as if signing a lease, and sooner or later, the vessel would be blasted into next Tuesday. Then came the HMS Ark Royal, a proud British aircraft carrier, and the next chapter in Billy's soggy career. If ships could talk, this one might have said, "Certainly nothing will happen to me," which is exactly the sort of boast the sea loves to punish. Sure enough, a German torpedo struck, the mighty Ark Royal was doomed, and once again, chaos broke loose, while my uncle, now a veteran of more naval catastrophes than any respectable cat should witness, found himself deposited into the frigid ocean for a third dramatic rescue. By this point, Mimi told me, sailors loved him and feared him in almost equal measure. On the one paw, he always survived. On the other paw, every vessel that welcomed him eventually took the express route to the ocean floor. Was Billy lucky because he lived, or unlucky because he brought disaster wherever he napped? My mother always answered this question with a thoughtful blink and a tail flick that meant both. She said Uncle Billy had the kind of luck that worked beautifully for one individual and terribly for everyone paying the repair bills. As a kitten, I found this both inspiring and worrying. I wanted to be brave like Billy, but I also did not want to be banned from transportation. I remember asking Mom whether Billy understood that ships kept sinking around him, and she said cats rarely trouble themselves with those thoughts, only if dinner is still served on time. That sounded wise, although perhaps not wise enough for the Navy. As I grew older, I came to think of Uncle Billy as less of a menace and more of a furry philosopher, drifting from one disaster to the next, proving that survival is its own strange talent. Billy somehow wound up on a U.S. cruiser named the Portland in the South Pacific. Torpedoed, but left floating. This time everyone survived. Mimi, may her noble cat soul rest in eternal cat heaven, she would finish the story the same way every time. Mom looked at me lovingly, then said, "Minnie, People talk about 9 lives as if cats are careless, but that is not true. Cats are experts. We survive because we observe, we wait, and we know when to leap. But remember this too, whether you live 1 life or 9, never get too proud, never trust the sea, and never board a ship with your Uncle Billy.